What up, Dokkaners? I'm going to do my very best to answer this question that a lot of you guys have been asking me because you guys are struggling. You're trying to make a decision and you're having a difficult time trying to decide if you're going to summon for this unit right here or save for the 7-year anniversary because, let's face it, folks, it's tempting. This is our first 200%, I was going to say 700%, our first 200% lead on Global, and a lot of you guys want to know, should you summon for Majin Vegeta or save for the 7-year anniversary? So I'm going to do my best by giving you my own perspective, my own thoughts on this, and then I'm going to leave it to you guys in the comments to give me more of your thoughts. And I strongly suggest, folks, you guys read the comments, because one thing that I do appreciate about the people who watch my videos, you guys leave some well thought out comments when you give your own honest opinions about certain things, and it actually sheds a lot of light on how people feel about certain things. So feel free to check out the comments on this one and see what other people have to say. Let's just be civil and supportive with whatever decision you guys make. Let's just all help each other out here. My honest opinions, we'll start with that. I personally feel like if you are a global Dokkan player who's been saving for the 7-year anniversary, you should indulge and summon for this unit. You may not get it, but you should still at least try to do a couple of summons to pull the unit. The number one reason that I think a lot of people would bring up as far as why you shouldn't is because that means less stones for the 7-year anniversary. But think about the timeline here. We are currently in March. The 7-year anniversary begins in July. That gives you 4 months to save. Now, that's not to say that you should completely break the bank for this unit, but you will be gaining stones over the next few months anyway. And if you are to save for all of those, not summon on any of those campaigns and simply wait until the 7-year anniversary, you would have a potential 200% lead to hold you over until then. So in terms of content, in terms of having an appropriate leader or a strong leader to lead your squad through various events that may come your way during these various celebrations, it wouldn't be too bad of an option to have a 200% lead at the helm. Now, going over the categories real quick, Majin Buu Saga and Vegeta's Family are two pretty big categories, which, counterpoint, there are a lot of other potential leads that you could run instead. But what I'm saying is, in terms of your team building, you have a very healthy selection of units, both free-to-play and otherwise, that you could run for your Majin Buu Saga team. By the way, this is also an undisputed 170% lead for Majin Buu Saga. No other unit in this game has a 170% leader skill for Majin Buu Saga, including the Kid Buu. The Kid Buu will be leading Fated Battle and Majin Buu Saga at 170% attack HP and 130% defense. So a full-on 170% across-the-board leader skill for Majin Buu Saga is only available for that Majin Vegeta. So you would be getting the full extent of the Majin Buu Saga category with this lead. Same goes for the Vegeta's Family. We have a 150%. We have a unit dabbling in the 170s a little bit with the Majin or the Super Saiyan 4. And then we got a bunch of subs down here. So the only real king of the Vegeta's Family category is now the Majin Vegeta. So as far as these two categories, what they have to offer in terms of team building and support, two very healthy categories with adequate support. We've got some nice support units on the Vegeta side. We've got some really nice supports on the Majin Buu Saga side. So you are going to be running some pretty solid teams. And then as far as the cross-section goes, between Gifted Warriors and Vegeta's Family, as you can see right here, pretty stellar lineup here. Of course, this is the JP side. Could be a little bit different, but still pretty good, right? Both free-to-play and otherwise. Free-to-play is a little bit limited, I will admit. There are a couple really good ones, like, for example, these two. Excellent free-to-play options, and running them at 200%, let's not forget. That's going to be really good. And then this is the Gifted Warriors and Majin Buu Saga cross-section. A little bit more obscure, with some Boos in there, which you probably won't use a whole lot. You got the Hybrid Saiyans and essentially Vegeta. So, if you want to be running the 200%, it'll basically be a Vegeta's Family type team. So if you have those types of units, then I do encourage you to summon. If you have a Vegeta's Family squad that dabbles a little bit in the Gifted Warriors, if you have a solid Majin Buu Saga team with some Vegetas and some Hybrid Saiyans in there, then I do think you should consider summoning for this banner. Now, keep in mind, the discounts and the overall value on the banner may not be so hot in terms of the stones that you'd have to spend, so maybe indulge in a couple of summons here and there. But let's also take a look at what the potential banner could look like. Now, one thing is for certain, we are going to be getting last year's banner units. So last year was Broly, so we'll definitely be getting Broly. And I'm pretty sure we'll probably get Bardock as well, because I think the first joint Saiyan Day celebration was back when Bardock was released. And Bardock hasn't left the banner since. Granted, it's only been 2 banners, but Bardock and Broly I'm assuming we'll be there on this next one. And given that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just subtract 1 for the banner unit. So let's just say 7 SSRs. 4 of them that are Dokkan Fests. So let's just say 5 Dokkan Fests. So 1 is going to be the Vegeta. 2 would be the Bardock and the Broly. If we want to take out one of them, I guess we take out the Bardock. We just have the Broly. That leaves 3 potential Dokkan Fests that we could throw in there. What are those units that they could possibly be? We could potentially see Gogeta. A lot of people are expecting LR Gogeta to show up, which could be a great replacement for the blue dudes here. So let's just say that Gogeta shows up instead of blue dudes. And then let's take a look at another possible candidate. What if we end up getting Super Vegeta? Super Vegeta has yet to return on a JP banner and was on a global banner a couple of campaigns ago. So this could be the first instance of Super Vegeta coming back. This could end up being a JP thing and not a global thing, but we'll have to see. Super Vegeta could end up coming back. That could fill the spot of the Namek Goku, maybe. It is wishful thinking. Maybe we could end up seeing Royal Blue Vegeta instead of Super Vegeta, or perhaps both, which could then end up filling that last spot. Or if you want to stack them together, either Super Vegeta or Royal Blue, you could have the last one maybe be the Bardock, or potentially even somebody else. Who else could we throw on here? I guess I didn't really have anybody else in mind, but you know, at least some of these guys, these are some pretty heavy hitters. Now, assuming these guys come back, that's going to increase the value even more. So even if the discounts may not be so hot, you got those tickets in whatever capacity we get those tickets, but then the banner itself is going to potentially be a pretty beastly lineup. So even if you don't end up with the Majin Vegeta, you might end up with potentially a Gogeta, maybe a Super Vegeta if we get that. Royal Blue, who will be getting that EZA, who is very good with that EZA, 170% across the board for Pure Saiyans, another first of its kind, which is something that even the Super Vegeta doesn't have because he misses 40% on HP. There's going to be potentially a lot of value on this banner on top of that Majin Vegeta, so you could end up with a pretty stacked consolation prize that isn't your 200% lead, which would still help carry into other celebrations. So all in all, my personal opinion is I think that players should live a little bit on this one and try to do a couple of summons. Maybe not break the bank like I said, but do a couple just to see if you could run away with this guy. Because if you were able to get a 200% lead, you don't need anybody else. And if the argument is there's not enough events to keep you busy until the 7-year anniversary, then try running a 200% led team with free-to-plays. Try running 200% lead and then run a different friend unit that doesn't have the same level. I kind of don't fully agree with that argument because, you know, you can make the game more difficult or easier for you depending on the parameters that you set yourself. If you use certain items, the game's a joke. If you don't use items, the game's challenging. If you use certain units, it gets difficult. If you use other units, it gets easy. You can determine your own fate just by manipulating the board, changing up your team. That's the whole point of Dokkan. You're collecting all of these different characters to try different team combinations. If you use the same OP team for every single event, well, it's going to get stale anyway. It doesn't matter if there's a challenge or not. So using different units, having different combinations will make for a more, you know, variety is the spice of life, basically. So there, you know, I just want to go over my thoughts on this one. Like I said, there are so many different points that could be made, and there's just not enough time in the world and not enough brain cells in my head to cover all of this without stuttering into oblivion like a buffoon. So I'm going to leave that to you guys in the comments to give me your thoughts on this. I understand some of you come from different financial backgrounds. Some of you have 2 stones. Some of you have 2 million stones. Some of you have 20 stones. You know, everybody's different, so everybody's going to have a different opinion. But for those of you who are on the fence and want my honest feedback, my thoughts are you should summon 2 or 3 times minimum just to see if you can run away with this guy, because wouldn't that be something, pulling this unit and then just essentially being set the rest of the way until the 7-year anniversary. I think that would be pretty spectacular. But those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. And one last thing, again, a reminder, the banner will be dropping tonight. So if you guys are still not sure leading up to the banner's release, you can watch me summon first. And if you potentially see some promising rates, if you see a really good banner and you want to summon, then you could maybe summon along with me. But that will be dropping tonight. I will be going live on YouTube, so make sure you guys subscribe. Click that notification bell, turn it to all so that you guys can be fully up to date when I go live and do all of this stuff. It will be dropping at 11:18 in Los Angeles. which is 7:18 in Spain, which is 2:18 a.m. March 18th in Boston, which is 11:48 a.m. in India on the 18th, which will be 5:18 p.m. March 18th in Australia. It will be, let's see, Brazil. It will be 3:18 March 18th. Haha. It will be 3:18 on 3:18 in Brazil. Very cool. It will be the same time in Chile. It will be in, this is so confusing, Mexico, Philippines. All right, Mexico, Philippines. It will be 2:18 p.m. March 18th. In Mexico, it will be 12:18 a.m. So hopefully I was able to cover a couple more time zones that you guys are from. But check out dateful.com for your time zone to find out exactly when it's dropping. But like I said, the choice is yours. Enjoy the game, folks. Saving is one thing. Actually experiencing is another. So make sure you guys are smart about it. And use my summoning stream tonight as your indicator. If I get really good rates and I summon some good stuff, maybe it could be worth trying some as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your honest thoughts about this. I understand there are some very good points on both sides of the argument. I would love to know from you guys, what are your particular situations? What are your personal backgrounds allowing you to do? How many summons do you think you can afford? How many summons do you want to do versus how many do you think you should? Let me know. Just talk to me in the comments. Let's see what's going on with you guys in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned. Good luck. And always remember to Dokkan responsibly.